What is cracking, boys, and welcome back to the channel once again with your boy Exhausted. If you watched the last video, we started the renovation of my MX-5 door cards, and what we did is we wrapped them with like a quilted forked leather, which looked really awesome. I'm super stoked with the results. But boys, before we could bang them back in the car, we've got to do a couple of other little bits and bobs to them, neaten them up slightly, do the top kind of cushion pad things, get them all finished nicely, and then we will fit them back into the car and see how awesome they look. So without no further ado, boys, let's crack on with the video. Boys, I thought summer was over, but what an absolutely banging day. Definitely the right weather to be working on the car. So boys, if we jump out, oh bloody hell mate. It's difficult enough to get out of that car when it does have seats, let alone when it doesn't have seats. Yeah, that was a toughie, mate. As you can see, we've got to be working on these two top pads for the door cards. Now, I want to have a tweeter installed in these. I'm not too sure exactly where it's going to be yet. Either obviously one side or the other, so it will look stupid being in the middle. But yeah, probably make more sense to have it here, just because the speaker's down here, less wiring, and yeah, just the sounds coming from a similar sort of place I think would be better. So yeah boys, we've got to be cracking on with that. What we've got for speakers, so we have still got my same Alpine Type G door speakers right here for the doors. Now one of these wasn't working very well. It's kind of working on and off, which I suspect is a wiring issue, because yeah, I think they're working pretty fine anyway. So what I'll do is I'll make sure all the wiring's safe and sound, because when I installed them the first time, boys, I didn't really know what I was doing whatsoever. I literally just twisted the wire around, heat shrink tubing, bang, bish bash bosh, and it was done. But that's not how you should do it. So today we're going to be doing it a lot better basically, so it turns out nice, spick and span. And then we should have some lovely door cards and some quality sound in the MX-5, because if you boys own an MX-5, you will know the audio quality is lacking. Right then boys, so what we're going to do is we're going to flip the camera out and start cracking on with these top pads and get to finishing the interior. I am a bloody special breed. I don't have a clue what that noise was about, but yeah, look what's arrived, lads. So we've got a nice parcel. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack open this up, and as you can see, we've got some Alpine tweeters, lads. So let's open this up. Can't open one-handed. Let's pop the camera down. Hold on. Bam! So boys, if we open up our box, what we've got is we've got Alpine didnt S30. They're a dome tweeter basically. So we've got a pair in here. If we open up the box, take this out. Okay, we've got this. So open this up, and we have got our tweeters right here, which actually feel quite good. They've got a nice bit of weight to them actually, compared to all the cheap ones that I've had before. So pretty stoked with that. So we've got our little speakers. We've got a couple of different like back pieces basically. If you don't want to mount it into something, if you want to mount it on top of something so it looks neat, which we're not going to be needing. We've got these bad boys to wire them all in, and just a couple of bit of hardware, some sticky pads, that sort of thing. This is about 1 inch, but what we're going to do, we're going to measure it exactly so we know what sort of size hole we're going to be drilling in the cushions, and then we can crack on installing these bad boys. So boys, I've measured these. They look about 47 centimetres, which is a bit of a weird size. So in my whole source set, I don't have one which is perfect. This one's about 45 or like 44. Let me have a look exactly. 44, there we go. So this will do the job for the time being, and we can just widen it up slightly with vinyl if needs be. But because this is like quite soft, apart from the backing, then I reckon we'll be able to get them through there nicely. It'll just bend ever so slightly. So what we're going to do is I am going to have the speakers on this side, I think, right here. So let me go rest this in the car and see what it looks like actually, rather than. So, so that's going to be something like. Something like that. Yeah, there's probably best, isn't it? I mean, what's behind it? Let's have a look. Right, boys, I'm going to. Basically, I can't really show you the camera up here because it's going to be pitch black, I reckon. Let's have a look. Can you see? Just smacked my head. Oh no, you can. So basically under here, there's not much behind basically where we're going to be drilling through, where we're going to put this, which is perfect. So if we have it right down, it's got a nice bit of depth. So that should be bang on the money, to be honest. So boys, I'm going to drill a 44mm hole here, and then we can install these tweeters right in here. Going to sand out the hole slightly. Now these are quite shallow, so I don't think we're going to have a problem with them hitting anything. They should fit nicely, but if they don't, we'll encounter that problem when we get to it. So now we've got both holes drilled for the tweeters, as you can see. Now they do look a little bit sketchy, but once you put it in, they've obviously got a lip which will cover that up. So as you can see, they're both drilled. So what we're going to be doing with these cushion sort of things is we're going to be actually flocking them black, which is, I think, it's going to look really, really awesome. So what we're going to do, we're going to have to do a few things to prepare these for the flocking. So if I flip the camera, I'll show you what I mean by that. So as you can see, running all the way along the top is the basically window, like rubber sort of seal thing, probably best thing to call it. So we want to remove these because we don't want those flocked, obviously. So behind here, if we look round the back, you can actually see there's loads of little clips here that we just need to bend so they're straight all the way across, and then that will literally just pull out. So yeah, it's as simple as getting your screwdriver, kind of poking it under. I'm trying to film this, like look at the camera and look at what I'm doing at the same time, which is why I'm being retarded. Basically bend this round till it's straight, and we'll go ahead and do that on all of them, and then they'll pull straight out. So guys, I've just given these a light sand with 600 grit sandpaper, and then just clean them up nicely. So let's move on to flocking. So in our kit we get a bag of flock, a flock applicator, which is a little bottle, a brush, and some adhesive, which is just like a black adhesive basically. So what we're going to do is we're going to fill up our flock applicator with this stuff, which is going to be quite tricky. I've maybe used funnel, that might work. I don't know, this will fall through the funnel. It should do because it's almost like dust or sand, but yeah, we'll fill up the flock applicator and then crack on with flocking. Now that the applicator's full, there's a couple of really important things we want to bear in mind to ensure we don't mess this up and to ensure it goes perfectly to plan. So guys, the first thing to bear in mind is the temperature of the environment which you're working in. The optimum temperature for the adhesive is between 19 and 21 degrees. And even if the temperature's a couple of degrees over that, it can cause the adhesive to skin a lot quicker and basically means it's not workable anymore and the flock will not adhere to the adhesive. So yeah guys, be sure to bear in mind the temperature on the day you're choosing to make sure that it all goes to plan. Also guys, remember, even if you're in that temperature scale, the adhesive does skin and set very quickly. It will skin within 5 to 10 minutes. So you've only got that working time frame where you can then apply the flock over the top before it skins and it will no longer adhere to it. So bear that in mind. If you're doing it on maybe a slightly larger project or something like that, maybe do it in sections. Start from the top and work down, and then yeah, you should be good to go. So what we're going to do is I'm going to brush the adhesive on, making sure we get in a nice kind of medium layer. We don't want any kind of runs or anything like that, but we don't want it too thin where the flock won't adhere. And I'm also going to just do one at a time, just bearing in mind the skinning time of the adhesive so everything does go to plan. So yeah boys, let's flip the camera and set up a time lapse of us flocking these bad boys. Right boys, that did not go to plan. I luckily saved it. I only started on one side and I've just basically wiped all of the crap off. But if you can see like the bits that are here, there's loads of like little solid bits which like look really weird. The rest of it looked fine. It's just these solid bits which look awful. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a good old sieve and basically sieve all that crap out, and then yeah, it should look a lot better. Another issue that I was coming up against is the glue was kind of separating, like it wouldn't stay on the surface, which there may be some sort of like
dash shine or something still on there, so I'm going to have to completely take that off, and then hopefully it works just fine. Fingers crossed afterwards.
Things don't always go to plan, boys, but that's what I'm here for. To cock it up so you guys don't cock it up. But yeah, let's go for round 2 and get it right this time. Right, boys, so this is starting to do my absolute nut in. I've just basically sieved all of it, put it back into the thing, and it's become clumpy again. So after a bit of thinking, we've got a solution. Third time lucky. What I've done is I've modified the bottle, so if you can see in there, it's got part of a sieve in there. So basically it's just going to sieve it as I put it out, so none of the big lumps are going to come through. So yeah, make sure you do that, boys, because these type of things, the hole in the top of it is ridiculous. Like, I've seen some of the ones that they use in America, and they're almost like a pump with tiny little holes in it, which is going to stop that from happening. But yeah, if you're watching this flocking, this is a ridiculously awful bit of equipment, and I'd sort it out because I've almost ruined it twice by using this. And what? How much does it cost? About 5p to put a little bit of mesh in there to save the job? Make sure you do that, guys, because that is ridiculous. But yeah, enough of me rambling on. Finally, we were at the stage where it's actually going to go right this time, I'm 100% sure. So yeah, let's cue the time lapse, fill this up, and for the third time, try flocking these parts.
Right, boys, so we've done this. Now, I'm not very happy with how these turned out, to be honest. Now, this don't look too bad, like, as you can see. But, well, I don't know, maybe the adhesive's like blue, and you can see it through the fucking flock, and I just think this kit, whatever company this is, Flocking, it's a pile of crap, to be honest, because shit, the flock was rubbish, it was all clumped up. Sieved it, still clumps up in that thing, then nightmare. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to let these dry, give them a bit of time. They might dry slightly nicer. If they don't, I think I'm just going to wrap these with some black suede, to be honest, because yeah, like I said, this is just not really working at the moment. The only problem is, like, suede isn't very stretchy, so that might be quite difficult, but I don't know. I don't know if you can tell, boys, but I am so flocking annoyed, man. Haha, you see what I did there? Flocking annoyed. Bang, bang. Right then, boys, I'm going to leave them for a few hours, wait till they're dry and see if I can save them. When I actually looked at them in the sunlight, you can't actually notice the blue stuff underneath, so maybe, hopefully, when it dries, we should be good. But yeah, it's just annoying me. This flocking business, so I'm not doing it again. That's an absolute nightmare. I'd much rather just wrap it with something, to be honest. 10 times easier and less hassle. Costs about the same, so I don't know why I'll bother doing this again. But yeah, hopefully we can save it. We'll give it a couple of hours to nicely cure up. Should really leave it for 2 days before putting too much pressure on it. But yeah, boys, it should be fine to work with within a couple of hours. So boys, we will catch up in a bit. Bam, boys, so I'm back. We've been waiting a couple of hours and they are dry. But yeah, they didn't quite go to plan. So let me go grab them and basically talk about what I've done wrong and what we're going to be doing on next time, because we're actually going to be flocking the dash regardless if this went wrong. These are going to be quite easy to fix, but the dash is going to be a nightmare if it goes wrong. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips on the mistakes I made doing this and what we can do to prevent those, and I'll show you what I'm going to do in a bit more detail in the next video when we come to flock the dash as well. So yeah, let's go grab these door cards. Right then, boys, as you can see, we've got the door cards here, and in this lighting you're probably not going to be able to notice what I mean. So I'm going to flip the camera around and basically show you a close-up, and hopefully the camera picks up what I've done wrong. So I think the camera just about picks it up. Now, they don't actually look that bad in the camera, but if you look really closely, you can see very slight lines underneath, and most people might be happy with these, but I'm not. Actually, from that angle, you can see they look a bit dodgy. Yeah, from that angle, it's a lot better. You can see where I've basically used the brush and brushed on the adhesive underneath, and it's left really small lines which you can see through the flock. Now, I'm not sure if this is because there's a slightly different colour glue, but I think it's most likely because I put on a too thick layer with a brush and it's left streaks in there. and then basically that's set slightly higher depth than all of the rest of the glue, and it's made that sort of line effect in that, which looks terrible, boys. So what we're actually going to be doing is we're going to be wrapping those ones now. We're going to wrap them with a suede basically material, and we're also going to wrap the centre, or the front one, which matches up with those and is in line with those, in the same black suede material so it all matches. But guys, like I just mentioned, we're going to be flocking the dashboard, and basically to avoid this issue, I've come out and bought a foam roller set, as you can see right here. And what this is going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to apply a uniform layer with no streaks in it, and I can do it a lot thinner because this will basically not soak up too much, or it will soak up a lot, but it will only let out the amount I need when I'm rolling it on. And when I've looked at professionals who do this seems to be what they use, unless they're actually using a spray gun, so this should turn out a lot nicer. But yeah, like I said, that was a bit of a fail, and I'm going to be leaving the video there because we're going to have to wait for the suede to arrive before we can actually wrap those and finish them off. So yeah, we're going to have part 2 of these door cushions over the next couple of weeks as soon as that turns up. But yeah guys, massive thanks for watching. Smash that thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to subscribe down below and turn on that notification bell to be automatically updated whenever the latest exhaustive video comes out. And yeah, until the next one boys, adios.